Hi guys, so welcome back to this YouTube channel. If you're new here, then do subscribe and click the bell down below to be notified every single time we post a new video. We always talk about different sort of topics in this group, all about mindset, entrepreneurship, visualization techniques, and we go through a whole bunch of stuff. One thing though that we tend to not cover sometimes, but we do cover in our personalized membership called Circle of Power, is relationships, everything to do with relationships. Now, relationships is quite a tough topic to talk about because some people question your credibility and question certain things that you know. But the reason why we made this video is because there has been request of people wanting to know how to maintain a really healthy relationship with your boyfriend. And it's something that's searched so often, and a lot of your friends always ask you for advice, but it's not really a common thing to have a YouTube video on it. So that's why I thought I'll come onto YouTube and create a video on how to remain a healthy relationship with your boyfriend and go through just 5 things that will really help you to have a healthy relationship. And this doesn't just apply to boyfriends, this applies to colleagues, this applies to, I guess, in some way. But this applies to just how to build relationships really effectively. There's just few simple methods that can really work. But I'll talk today about healthy relationships with boyfriends. So I hope you stay tuned. 5 tips on how to have a healthy relationship with your boyfriend. Before I go into fully my 5 tips, there's this website that does love languages, so you can find out your partner's love languages and your love languages by taking this quick quiz. It's really fun and easy going to do. And there's 5 different love languages. There's one that's physical touch, so if your partner prefers physical touch. There's one if your partner prefers gifts. There's one where they prefer spending quality time together, and they just have different sort of love languages. And it's really important, I guess, to know what your partner relies on to feel loved and to feel, you know, loved from you, and how you respond to certain things. Because you could be a person that just loves spending quality time and physical touch, so getting presents given to you often is not going to be of beneficial to you, or you would not feel loved in that way because your love language could be spending time together. So it's really important to see your love languages, and that's a really good way to get started on this process. The first one I want to talk about is showing respect. And this is showing respect to them, their family, their priorities in life, and showing respect to their life. You need to respect the person you're with because you appreciate them. So respecting them is something that you really need to harness and really need to do. If you do not agree with something they say, you need to respect their opinion, listen to it, truly keep it in your system instead of just fighting back immediately. Actually listen to what they have to say and go about it that way. If you have respect for someone, one, you don't betray their trust because you trust them and you respect that they love you, and you won't do anything to betray that respect. 2, you feel like you can be yourself because there's that mutual respect. So I think respect is a really important one, and a lot of people talk about trust. Trust comes with it, but if you respect someone, there's certain things that you wouldn't do, you wouldn't cross boundaries, or certain things you wouldn't say to someone out of anger and frustration because you respect them. And I think that's really important to know. The second one is to show daily appreciation. I know it might seem excessive, but I'm not saying to send paragraphs every single day. It's just to think about little things throughout the whole day that you really appreciate from them. So sending a quick text to say, thank you so much for this, you've taught me this, or you've made me realize this about myself, or I really appreciate when you did this for my family. It's just little things that you can show your appreciation for and your gratitude for, and they'll know what they do that makes you happy, and you're more likely to get it again. So just show your appreciation all the time. Instead, even if you're in a really bad mood with that person, with your boyfriend, there has been something they've done in the past that you really appreciate, so just share that with them and just said, granted, I'm not in a great mood with you right now because of this situation, but I really am thankful for you doing this. I'm really thankful for you being this, or, you know, so just showing your appreciation and gratitude. Number 3 is to have fun together. A lot of times when you know, at the start of a relationship, you do have a lot of fun together. There's a lot of dates that you go to. But when it gets towards, you know, over a year, over 2 years, over 3 years, it starts to become quite mundane. You're just so used to spending time together, just morning, day, night, 24/7. You just spend constant time with each other, and you're not really having fun. And fun doesn't have to be pricey. You don't have to go somewhere really fancy to have fun. But all I'm saying is a lot of girls get to a point where in a relationship they get so comfortable and they really care for their partner, and they start acting like their mum. They start lecturing them, they start telling them certain things to do, certain things to not do. And that's not having fun. You need to realize that you're still their partner, you're not their mum, and you just need to have fun with each other and do things that you guys used to do that you really enjoy together. I know in my relationship, we love going to the park, we just like having fun in that way, and we love playing board games. We're really competitive people. Some couples that would not work, but we're so competitive and we love playing board games, and that's having fun for us. So just have fun together and stop having this mundane sort of routine all the time. Simply just engage in light-hearted activities that make you spend time with each other more and that can make you feel closer together. Essentially, just light-hearted activities that make you feel closer together. Number 4 is to give space. Now, I'm not saying to just not talk to your partner or not text them all day. I'm just saying there's a certain time where you need distance to make the heart grow fonder, and you need time apart to really appreciate each other. So if your partner is someone who likes being alone when they're a bit sad, give them that space and then go and comfort them. I'm not saying leave them for a few days, but give your partner space sometimes, because that's what they need to recalibrate. At the end of the day, what we need to realize is that we're all ourselves and we're all individuals, and we have our own coping mechanisms. And no matter how much love you give to someone, no matter how much you want to say to someone, comfort someone, if they're quite an introvert, they want to spend time with themselves to just recalibrate if they're going through a tough time, or if they're an extrovert, they just want to spend time with their friends. So it's about finding a balance, about giving space, and it's just about finding a balance by giving space, essentially. With a lot of couples who have been together in relationships for years, some couples feel caged. They feel that some people in relationship feels caged. They feel they can't do things that they normally would, because they're just in this relationship. And this is why it's so important to give space, because they're still allowed to be themselves. We do morph into each other when you're in relationships. You kind of become one, but if you give each other space, you get to be yourself a bit. You know, you get to practice things that you would when you weren't in a relationship. And I think this is key for a lot of people, because sometimes 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, they've lost themselves and they've lost how they used to be, because they felt caged and they only did what the partner wanted and they only spent time with each other, that they've lost their identity. And the last thing you want is an identity crisis when you're young, or at any age, in fact. So give each other space, but a healthy amount of space. You just need to find that sweet spot. And number 5, most important thing, is open communication. I have experienced a lot of my friends who've been in relationships who find it really hard to express how they feel to their partners, just because they're scared of it ending, or they're scared of hurting their partner. And if you just have open communication at the start of your relationship, this will really help. And if you haven't, start adapting that in your relationship. Open communication is so important, because you feel you can say stuff without them thinking it's so bad that you want to break the relationship. So open communication is so vital, especially when you're young and you've got changes in your careers, and if you want to move to a different city, or if there's certain things that you want to do. If you have the open communication from the start and you've set your expectations, saying, I don't know where my career is going to lead me to, but I would like to be doing this in the future, and I would like to be going here in the future. How do you feel about that? Are you comfortable moving cities? Are you comfortable moving states? Where do you think your career is going? Where do you think this is going? Open communication is so important. And as well as that, I'll add on, which is thinking about the future and talking about the future. It's never too early in a relationship or too late to talk about the future. I know a lot of people who go into relationships 3 years, 2 years down the line, and they still haven't spoken about their future together. But to have a really healthy relationships, if you talk about your future, then you can both be on this journey together, to grow together and to succeed together. And there's nothing better than seeing each other grow and helping each other grow. The last thing you want for someone you love is to hinder their growth. And this is why if you start talking about your future, you know what they expect in life and you know what they want to achieve in life, and you can help each other grow and not hinder them and not put them in a cage. So talking about your future is so important, and having that open and honest communication. A lot of couples struggle 5-6 years down the line where they've been given a new job offer and they haven't spoken about the future, and they really want to move cities or they really want to do something else, and the partner is not comfortable with that because it came as a shock. And in the same way, it comes as a shock to couples who are ready to settle down, have kids, get a house, and the partner doesn't. They still want to live their carefree life. So it's really important to set those boundaries and have those open communication and talk about your future. That's one thing I really did at the start of my relationship. All I ever talked about was the future, because I just wanted to make it clear that we're on the same path. And especially for long distance couples, and we'll do a whole video on this if it's requested, on how to manage a long-term relationship, long distance relationship. I did it for 2 years. When you are doing a long distance relationship, you need to find out a point where you're going to come together, when you're actually going to join forces and be together. Because then what's the whole point of living through that whole relationship not knowing when you're going to be together? And this is why talking about your future really helps. And if you don't know about your future, try to set some goals, because it'll help your own relationship as well as your own self. So I hope you found that useful. Those are my 5 tips on how to maintain a healthy relationship with your boyfriend and your partner. And let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have more tips that you use? Have you used these things and find it really useful? Do you talk about your future a lot and you've had success? So let me know. I'd like to know your thoughts. Comment down below. And yeah, subscribe to this channel. Click the bell down below. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you think. And also, I'll be back for another video on next week. Yeah, on Monday. See you guys later.